Mark Rogers TV talking to top high school football players across the country and recently signed collegiate players like Peyton Mansell, dual threat quarterback, 14th ranked according to 24/7 Sports. Peyton, how you doing today?
Good. How about you?
I'm doing just fine. Thanks for joining us. So you have major commitment and signed with the Iowa Hawkeyes. So the first question is basically why Iowa? What brought you to that decision?
They just had an amazing family atmosphere when I went up there, and Greg Davis came down for one of my spring practices along with Bobby Kennedy, and I clicked with him a lot. The things he was telling me I would really like to hear, and then when I went up on my visit, I met Coach Ferentz, and it just felt like a great family atmosphere.
And that's something that's resonated with just about all the interviews I've done with you guys is that I think from the outside, we think about high school football recruiting, college football, and that transition. And we look at the resources and the level of football status and all the facilities and the fancy stuff like that. But almost all of you guys to a man discuss having to trust the coaches, having to feel like it's a comfortable fit, like you have almost made a commitment to a second family, and that being the most important thing. So that's tremendous that you feel comfortable there in Iowa City. Based on your game and what you know about the way Coach Ferentz and also the offensive coordinator, Brian Ferentz, run the Iowa offense, how do you think that will transition?
I think I'm going to have to get used to going under center, but I've been working on that on my own for the past 4 or 5 years. So, going from no game snaps under center in high school to majority in college, I don't think that'll be a big difference. But, then just having to get used to the terminology and then just game speed and then just tightening everything up because, some things in high school may be open. And then in college, that window just shrinks so much more.
Peyton Mansell joining us, top 15 rated dual threat quarterback, according to 247, who has signed with the 2017 Iowa class. How much do you know about Big Ten football? How much do you see that down in Texas?
Not as much as you'd think, which is kind of odd just because of how much talent is down here. But, you always see all these Michigan and Ohio State offers coming down here, Ohio State had a couple of guys from Texas, Baron Browning, Jeffrey Okuda. They went up to Ohio State. And then, just not a lot of guys will leave the South to go up north a lot, where the majority of the Big Ten schools are, just because, one, a lot of the Big Ten schools aren't very flashy. Like Iowa's not a very flashy school, along with Nebraska and Wisconsin. They're more of, we're going to get guys who fly a bit more under the radar and then develop them immensely, getting them bigger, faster, stronger, and then they'll turn out into first round draft picks like you're going to see this year with Jaleel Johnson and then Desmond King. Desmond King didn't have many offers. He was going to a MAC school before he was going to Iowa. So
yeah, there's no question that Coach Ferentz has proven himself as being one of the top talent developers in the country over a long period of time, and Iowa usually finds itself with 8 to 10 wins and playing in postseason play and sometimes contending for a Big Ten championship despite not having the flashy recruiting classes that we see at some other places. In regards to what you're working on to become a better player, what are some of those things that you're trying to iron out and improve in your game?
Right now I'm just trying to get bigger, faster, and stronger, just some typical, we got Coach Doyle's weight program and nutrition program, so I've been trying to stick to that as best I can. And then, I've just been trying to increase my speed because the game speeds up so much from high school to college.
Hey, Peyton, let's talk about Texas football, Texas high school football. I'm from Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
It's very important there, but I don't think anything compares to what football is like on the high school level in Texas. So can you give us kind of a feel from the standpoint of the competition on the field, but also just the rabid fan bases and the fervor for it and the importance given to it?
It's hard to describe, but, it's not like anywhere else in the U.S. Friday Night Lights in Texas is sacred. If you've seen Friday Night Lights, the show or the movie, it's pretty much that to a T, especially where I'm from, Belton. We'll have stadium packed every game, 9,000 plus people at each game. And then, just competition wise, every game you're playing somebody D1. I played against an Oklahoma State commit, a Texas Tech commit. I played against a lot of times a lot on the D line as well. I played against a Baylor commit. I played against Jeffrey Okuda, who was the #1 ranked corner in the nation. So then, especially from being where we are, where our bye district, our first round is always against the Dallas team typically, you'll always be playing against some really great opponents. So, I mean, every year, people in this area will go D1 and D2 and D3 just because of how talent rich we are down here.
Hey, Peyton, I know that the mindset has to be on the next rep, the next workout, the next film session, in addition to what you're finishing up there academically and then moving to a tremendous academic institution as well. But it has to be in the back of your mind at some point and make you feel good that despite not, again, flashy, dynamic players being attracted to Iowa at the quarterback position, they've had a pretty good run in the last 10 years of moving guys on to the NFL, and the last couple quarterbacks would be case in point as well.
Oh, yes, sir. Just the system we're in every year, no matter the OC, whether it's, Ken O'Keefe was here, and then it was Coach Davis, now it's Coach Ferentz. We're still in a pro-style system. So NFL teams see that, and they know we're not going to be like Texas Tech where you got Pat Mahomes, who great quarterback, strongest arm in the draft probably, but he hasn't played in a pro-style system. So we're not going to be the running gun, throw 70 times a game. We're going to get 30 throws in, but we're also going to be able to hand the rock off. And then we're going to have to know line protections. And, I think just NFL teams knowing that at Iowa you're going to be playing in a system that you're going to be playing in the NFL really helps.
Peyton, graduation's coming up. I'm sure you're going to hit campus probably within a week or two and focus on workouts and get ready for the first week of August when the entire team gets together under the coaching staff. What are your expectations for what you would like to accomplish as a freshman?
Just development. I'm going to mature when I get up there, of course, body-wise. A month or two in a college weight room in the summer is I'm going to look totally different than I do now. And, I just want to really develop as a quarterback and as a person. If when fall comes and we start camp, I'm going to see what they need me to do. If they say, hey, we want you, you're going to come in and compete for the starting job, or you're going to at least show us why you should compete for the starting job, then I'm going to hit the ground running and show that. And if I get the starting job, amazing. Then I'm going to work my butt off even more. But if not, I'm going to be the starter's biggest fan. I'm going to push him. So I'm not going to give up on trying to take his spot, but I'm still going to be his biggest supporter. So, if it's Stanley, Wiegers, Boyle, or Cook, I'll be their biggest fan, but I'll also be their biggest competitor. I don't want anybody to get complacent, and I want Iowa to be the best that they can be.
All right, we're chatting with Peyton Mansell. He's out of Belton, Texas, one of the top 15 rated dual threat quarterbacks coming out of high school, is signed with the Iowa Hawkeyes and preparing over the next couple months to make his way to Iowa City and get his collegiate career started. Peyton, we appreciate the communication and trying to get this arranged, and we finally made it happen, and I appreciate the time, and we'll look forward to tracking your career.
Yes, sir. Thank you.